Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Cinema Review. On today's episode, we're covering Weird Science.
Oh, man. Any kid growing up in the 80s, this was a jump start into puberty.
Weird Science, plastic tubes and pots and pans, and the bits and pieces. My creation.
Yeah, Oingo Boingo. We forgot to talk about that during this one. I wanted to give a shout out to Officer Vince from Northwestern PA. He reached out with a note that he sent to the Old Dirty Basement, and we really appreciate that, hearing from our listeners.
Yeah, thanks, Officer Vince. I like that you're old school like us. It's cool for you from Northwest PA, I think Sharon.
Yep.
And he brought us the Tiger Warsaw movie that we'll be doing.
Yeah, I love that we're able to reach out that far, and they're able to reach out right back to us. So thank you, Officer Vince.
Yeah, look for that in the next coming weeks. And also shout out to our buddy Trung. Went to school. He reached out with a nice little note.
Yeah, this was about, I think, committing your first crime as a kid. It was stealing the caps off of the trucks.
Fond memories.
I didn't know it was a thing. I seen the thing that he sent. I didn't know that was a thing. But.
We weren't alone.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's really cool. Thanks, Trung.
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys. We hope you're enjoying the show. And if you are, leave that 5-star rating. A written review on Apple really helps out. And sit back, relax, and enjoy Weird Science. Hey, this is Dave.
Matt.
And Zap.
And welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review,
where every week we review some of our favorite films from the past.
Hey, there ain't no late fees here.
Silence is golden. And be kind. Rewind.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How's it going?
Hey, man, how's it going?
What's going on?
Nothing. I think we're putting something in the old V.C.R. here.
Yeah.
That's the sound of victory right there.
That's right. Doing a morning recording this time.
Yeah, this is different for us. So if we sound a little different, if you hear like coffee clanging, it's a good old morning basement review.
Yep. We're popping in Weird Science from 1985.
Classic. Absolutely a modern day classic. I mean, this is one of those ones
movie.
that, I mean, I don't know anyone who hasn't seen this movie. This is what, John Hughes classic. This is everything. This is, it hits all the right buttons.
Yeah, this is one I do watch from time to time because I enjoy it so much. So yeah, I agree. I think if you haven't seen this movie, you're missing out.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of those that if it comes on, I don't care at what point it is in the movie, you're just going to leave it on and watch the rest of it.
It reminds me of kind of high school because the story revolves around like two high school nerds per se.
Yep.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not saying that I was a nerd or my friends were nerds, but like the way these guys are growing up, the way that they come up with this lovely lady friend of theirs,
Well, I think you can relate, like being a freshman. Like these guys seem like they were like that
perpetual freshman.
Yeah, just young, and you get to high school, you feel like you're trying to find yourself, and with girls and everything else like that. And this was one that you could relate to. I think no matter who you are, unless you're one of those guys that have a beard in like 8th grade and just feel like
grow a mustache on the weekends and shave it off Monday morning.
Right. So Weird Science. Filming dates on this, October 1984 through December, so roughly about 2 months. The release date on this was August 2nd, 1985, and it was rated PG-13. Running time on this was 94 minutes.
PG-13. Was there nudity in this? Was it brief?
There was.
The brief.
Yeah, there was a scene.
With when the missile and
it was the
piano player.
Yes, and it went through the shirt. Yes,
that was the only one that I was aware of.
That's all I needed.
No, that was
just
plenty.
What I needed.
Yep. I wonder how that looked paused back in the day on like a VHS tape.
I know. I tried it.
Did you?
Of course. Come on, man.
It does every so often. It gives that little like shimmy shake on. You know what I mean?
You pause and it'd be jittery.
Yeah, a little bit of jitteries.
Yeah.
People know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I thought that was me going blind.
Right.
What's what you do when you're,
or it's when you hit the button on that one channel where you keep hitting it really fast, and sometimes it straightens the screen out.
Are you talking about the Spice Channel?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So budget on this, $7.5 million. Box office, 38.9.
Boom.
That's a big one.
That's the way it should be. That's the juice is worth the squeeze on that one.
Yeah. And director on this was John Hughes, which that's a guy that we're all aware of. I mean, I think his name comes up all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
If
in the 80s movies.
Yeah, he is the king of 80s movies.
I wonder what his net worth is.
Well, he's dead.
He's the.
I'm just saying, I wonder what his net worth was.
Before it was probably misspent and misappropriated, and I don't know.
Man, he seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this movie made so little in the theaters. So they blew 7 to make 38. Now look, again, that's 31 million to the plus. That's good money.
Right. I get what you're saying though. You like, to me, this movie's great, and I would think word would have got around at the time.
Absolutely.
It's one of those ones that, yeah, you're right.
It's a simple, very easy plot. It's changing each time. You got scene after scene after scene where you're something different, something else is happening. I am really surprised it didn't do better at the theaters.
Yeah, because Anthony Michael Hall at the time, 16 Candles would have been out, so he would have been a draw.
Absolutely.
Kelly LeBrock, looking at the poster, I think that would be a draw. And now the other guy, and what was his name? Bill Paxton.
Chet.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he had done up to then, but I mean,
Bill Paxton was a decent actor. I mean, he wasn't in the Brat Pack or anything like that, but I think he was acting in movies.
Right. But yeah, you're right on that. I think it should have done better. But so, Zab, you got the cast there.
Yeah, man. So we've got a star-studded cast in this one. We've got Anthony Michael Hall as Gary Wallace, Elin Mitchell Smith as Wyatt Donnelly, Kelly LeBrock as Lisa, Bill Paxton as Chet Donnelly, Robert Downey Jr. as Ian, Robert Russler as Max, Suzanne Snyder as Deb, Judy Aronson as Hilly, Vernon Wells as Lord General. That was the Australian dude, the leader of the party.
Oh, yeah.
That had like the hair and the makeup.
Yeah, he would have also seen him in Road Warrior.
Yes.
Mad Max 2. Jennifer Balgobin as Biker Girl. Jeff Jensen as Metal Face.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of.
He's a teacher, wasn't he? Something.
Yeah, he's like, sorry.
Sorry,
he's walking
guys.
the bike out.
Yeah.
You know,
Please don't let this get out. I don't want it to mess up my teaching career.
Yes, yeah.
Michael Berryman as the mutant biker.
And he's from the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a horror. Yeah, from Wes Craven, I think, did that.
I mean, the guy has that look to him. He just has a horror movie look.
Well, that look is actually a result of hypohydrotic ectodermal dysplasia.
Oh,
thank you.
Which is, that's the thing. He has no sweat glands, no hair, or no nails.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
There he goes with that. That's wild.
It's crazy, man.
That's wacky, wild stuff. Yes.
So yeah, this guy is unmistakable. You would know him as soon as you'd see him.
He's been in quite a few movies. You would know him.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Britt Leach and Barbara Lang as Al and Lucy Wallace, Gary's parents.
Gary.
Who's Gary?
Yeah, no idea after that.
Doug McHugh and Pamela Gordon as Mr. and Mrs. Donnelly. That's Wyatt and Chet's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Ivor Berry and Ann Coyle as Henry and Carmen Donnelly, Wyatt and Chet's grandparents. John Capellos as Dino. You would have known him as the janitor from The Breakfast Club.
Yes.
DeMitch Davis as the bartender. Chino Fats Williams as bar patron. Drink it.
Drink it.
Jill Whitlow as Susan, the perfume salesgirl. Wallace Langman as Art. Renee Props as a member of the Weenies. And Kim Mallon as the girl playing the piano.
Oh,
well, yes,
that's the scene we referenced earlier.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Suzanne Snyder and Judy Aronson, is that her name? They became kind of queens of horror flicks.
Really?
Yes. They were both in, I think, Friday the 13th.
They're the two girls, the love interests.
Yeah, so this was Ian and Max's girlfriend.
Yes, yeah. I do remember the blonde now that you're saying that from one of the horror movies.
Mm-hmm. And Judy Aronson, I think, was in quite a few too. She was cast.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's later on in their careers. Not huge careers, but they became Scream Queens. I think that's what
right.
reference them as.
Yeah. Robert Russler, who played Max, was in Nightmare on Elm Street. The second one, he was, if you remember Nightmare on Elm Street 2, there's a boy that got sucked down into the bed.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry.
No, that was Johnny Depp.
That was Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it was
Johnny Depp.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Johnny Depp did that.
No. But he was in part 2, and he was the friend of the main character, the boy that Freddy was trying to take over his body. In part 2, he was like a friend of his.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was before Freddie became a dream warrior.
Right, that would have been 3, I think. So, Matt, you have a brief synopsis?
Weird science. If you can't get a date, make one. I get that because they made, yeah, it's funny. The Frankenstein legend takes an uproarious twist in this outrageous special effects laden comedy from the writer-director of 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. Critically acclaimed filmmaker John Hughes is at it again, giving nerdy computer whiz Elin Mitchell Smith and his best friend Anthony Michael Hall power to create the perfect woman, Kelly LeBrock. Oh, she is quite perfect.
And still.
Oh my goodness. Like a computer-generated fairy godmother, the duo's out-of-this-world creation guides the pair through the pleasures and pitfalls of adolescence. With a rock beat supplied by many music superstars, including Oingo Boingo, this far-out sci-fi fable brings everyone's favorite teen fantasies to life through the miracle of weird science.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good little synopsis of a synapsis.
Synapsis.
Weird science.
Yep.
Ooh.
Got a fun fact on that at the end. Can't wait to get to these fun facts.
Yeah, man.
Oingo Boingo, but that wasn't Oingo Boingo that did it, was it? It was just the...
No, it was Oingo
It was
Boingo.
absolutely Oingo Boingo.
Yep.
Oh, I just thought it was...
Danny Elfman.
Elfman.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
No. Okay.
So, Zap, you going to steer us through this movie?
I mean, I think it's going to take all of us to steer us through this movie. I know I fancy this movie a lot, but I'm pretty sure we all do. So
Right.
let's do this together.
Right. Well, keep us on track.
I'll do my best.
You're always the conductor, so keep us on track. We'll get off here and there. It happens, but
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
So we start out with Gary and Wyatt in Shermer High School, which is
Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
right?
we're talking about John Hughes.
Yeah, numerous times. It's a John Hughes Shermer High School thing.
So the scene starts out with these two just watching these girls in gymnastics class, right? And they're just fantasizing like crazy, like, oh man, what I wouldn't do, man. What do you want to? Oh, I want to shower with him. And then Gary just goes off with, oh man, I just want a room just full of all of these chicks, naked. I'm popular. Everybody knows my name.
Right.
All this good stuff.
But where are these high schools where, like in the 80s especially, like the women's outfits for gym class? Like I don't remember.
Dressing like that?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that was an 80s thing or not.
And
it was like that in Porky's, too.
So let's
But
not
there was
forget.
never like any steam coming out of
Porky's
like
was the 50s.
dressing rooms or anything like that.
I mean, that's fair, of course. But let's not forget that we weren't in high school in the 80s. One.
True.
2, we went to Catholic school, so our grades were far smaller.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I just think about like around here, you got, Central Dauphin, or you got,
You're talking about 200 kids in a class.
yeah, Cumberland Valley. You got like big.
No, actually 500
more
kids in
than
a
that,
class.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Compared to 140, 150.
So the pickings, the pickings, especially in a gymnastics class or something like that, whatever these girls are doing, I mean, you're going to have far and away a big number.
Plus, like Sister Susan or whatever didn't want to put she's not putting the girls in like tight shorts
Right.
and cut off sweatshirts.
That's right.
Yeah.
So while Gary and Wyatt are fantasizing, that's when Gary spots and he's like, look, but through all of these girls, I want those too. We're going to end after our magical, mystical party that we're all fantasizing about. We're going to get these two. And he looks over at Deb and Hilly. Now, in the meantime, all the while they're fantasizing and talking this through out loud, standing behind them is Ian and Max.
That's Robert Downey Jr.
That's Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Rustler.
Yes. Who are super popular, cool dudes.
Probably like seniors.
Yeah.
And these guys, Gary and Wyatt have to be,
At least sophomores that
'cause
drive
yeah.
because they're driving, or they're driving illegally.
well, one of them was. Wyatt.
Why?
Oh, no, Wyatt did drive. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I guess it doesn't matter, though.
It really doesn't because they were
Yeah.
like, breaking the law.
Breaking the law and breaking science.
law.
So in the meantime, while they're looking at and they spot these two chicks, all the while these two called the antagonists are standing behind them. They happen to be these two guys' girlfriends, and that's when, all right, enough's enough. And they both just pants the both of them and standing there, yo,
Check us out.
Yeah, check this out.
Yeah, I laughed out loud at that part. That was like so funny.
I don't know
Yeah,
what was better, the two of them standing there so awkwardly, or when Wyatt pulls his pants up and he wears them like old man pants.
right, like up over his navel and stuff.
They're way up his chest, his shorts,
Yeah.
just priceless.
Well, I enjoyed the way they kind of took it though coolly. Like they didn't really cause a scene. They just
Right.
they stood there for a minute. I was like, hey, I thought that was rather cool of them. Just to
Right.
be like, you know what?
It was.
I don't care.
I agree. I thought they did it well, and they just faded off. They're like, look, don't say shit. We're just getting out of here.
Just like back up and
Did either of you notice? So when they back up and they roll out of that scene, there were 2 posters on the wall. So one was for the Battle of the Bands, and the other poster was future homemakers.
Oh, for real? I didn't
Yeah,
catch
so
that.
like clubs, right? So chess club or whatever the hell club or Spanish club. I mean, we've talked about whatever the hell clubs.
Right.
There was this future homemakers club,
I did not catch that.
which you're not going to see that anywhere in high school anymore.
Absolutely not. There's a lot in this movie you probably wouldn't catch or see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So anyway, so that night they're hanging out at Wyatt's house because his parents are away. And it's just basically, 2 dudes hanging out, sleeping over, doing whatever. And they're watching Frankenstein. And as they're watching Frankenstein, this is where Gary gets this genius idea, like, why don't we make our own girl? Like, if we're so shitty at making, or, at getting a girl, let's just make our own.
Right.
See, I took that in another. I thought that was him just being like when you're with your friends, you think of like dumb shit to do.
Sure.
Right.
Like just like as a goof and thinking like this would be really fun to try. Like we have, you got that cool computer. Like let's try to make a chick and
Right. Just doing dumb shit.
yeah, just doing dumb
Like-
shit as a kid.
Right. And speaking of that computer, I mean, at that time, I remember seeing this movie and like, obviously computers aren't what they are now, but just like being blown away by the,
His
I
setup.
can't believe you can do that at home. Like,
Gary's
on a-
rig was, Wyatt's rig was so cool. Look,
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before in other podcasts. I grew up with a Commodore 64,
Mhm.
and it was, the 5 1/4 inch floppy disks and stuff like that. So, I mean, I looked at that when I was a kid, like, wow, this is awesome. I want to do this. Hey, I got a computer too. Maybe I can do this.
Right.
No, man.
Doesn't work like that.
That doesn't work like that. Oh, my hopes were dashed. But in the meantime, as these 2 are sitting around thinking about making their own computer, making their own
Lady friend.
lady friend. So, Wyatt the whole time is telling Gary, like, look, you understand we can't make this. We can't make flesh and blood here, right? It's just going to be a simulation. It's just going to be this whatever. Somebody we could talk to, maybe something, from whom we could learn, maybe. So as they go through the process, as they start their process,
Is this the designing of their
this is the
ideal
design.
woman?
Yep, we're in the design phase. So they designed the chick, which now I get it. They had to make the design look to fit Kelly LeBrock.
Mhm.
And the thing where Gary says, like, anything more than a handful is you're
Oh, the
too
bo-
much.
The boobs.
you're risking a sprained thumb.
Right.
I don't know, man. I've always just been a big cans guy.
Right.
Like, I would have made them as big as possible.
Yeah. When they've shown.
Well, they did. They went
and then bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they end up getting stuck though at a 5th grade learning level, the 5th grade intelligence, because again, Wyatt only has this thing in his home. This is his equivalent of his Commodore
Yeah.
64.
Right.
This is how
So
it was programmed.
Gary's of course breaking his balls, like, wow, nice computer, right? Like, what a piece of shit. You're really letting me down here. So Wyatt dials into government computers
Yes,
someplace
computer hacking.
to get the strong power of the strong computing power.
Mhm.
So he dials in, and now all of a sudden they're off to the races.
Which I thought was a cool part. Like I like the way that whole
was genius.
thing was
And the
done.
doors
And
are
like going,
opening.
yeah, choom,
Yeah.
choom, choom. And then like all of a sudden like the doors are blocked and
Right.
they have to go another way around. And this was before it was even like a huge thing.
I just watched this last night, and Matt, I am 100% with you. I absolutely remember seeing that as a kid and was just blown away by the graphics. Right, I was always a big fan of graphics. Like, ooh, like the graphics of a game would draw me to it. I couldn't have cared less if it was a shitty game. I just wanted to see better graphics. And watching that, like, that reminded me of some of the scenes in the Lawnmower Man.
Right.
Oh, that was a good one too.
Awesome
Yes.
movie, awesome movie. But yeah, just watching them going through portals and shit like that was unheard of. Again, in Commodore 64 computing days.
Right. And you figure, like, for me, now I didn't have, like, I think as kids, like we referenced before, you either had a Commodore 64 or
And
like
an
a
Atari,
Nintendo or
Coleco,
so
something like that.
You're talking about like 8-bit graphics at home.
Yep.
And you're not seeing anything on that level. But also, like we talked about in Real Genius, the computing power. Like, I wonder what was going through my head back then watching that movie about, like, well, how are they communicating? Like, how is all this happening? I guess you kind of just don't think about it as a kid, but that was like, back then you wonder what like was going through people's mind watching that. Like, oh my God.
I mean, so
You
there
could
was
do that.
certainly communication back then via telephony.
Right.
So you're taking that handle off of the receiver and you're putting it on the old thing that's hearing
So
all
that-
the clicks and whistles. And it's so interestingly enough, on the other end, ultimately it sounds like a fax machine.
It's like, ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
all that stuff. Yeah.
It just
That
sounds
was
like
great.
a fax machine, or the dial-up, when you
yeah.
used to do dial-up. That's
Right.
that's the sounds that you would otherwise hear, and it's just clicking.
Mm-hmm.
The the equivalent of ones and zeros.
Right. Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so they're dialed into high tech government computer stuff.
Basically getting the power now. They're up in the.
They've got the power.
Yes.
Got the power.
And they are feeding everything they can into this thing. They're feeding it, brains and looks and all kinds of stuff to musical talent, like all this stuff to make this just this perfect genius, beautiful woman, like everything you could possibly imagine in the perfect human being.
Right.
They're thrown at this thing.
Which was also going back to that point of being a kid. Like I think how much fun that would have been. Like, dude, we just broke into freaking government computer power. We're getting it. Like this thing's going to be great. Whatever we come up with here, it's not going to work for shit. But we're having a great time. It's something we'll talk about when we're like in our 50s.
Like war games and stuff.
Yeah. So this is the point which, so this whole movie obviously is, whatever. It's some fantasy movie.
Right.
But this is the part where it just really goes completely off the rails. So they've got now all the brains in the computer and everything they could possibly have to make this woman. Somehow, some way, I don't know if it was a cutscene, maybe it's in the director's cut that nobody ever saw, but somehow they figure out, hey, this is how we can transfer all this perfect being that's in this computer to an actual living, breathing thing.
Right.
So you see them in the scenes, like they're twisting circuit boards together and they're doing connections here and there, and they ultimately find like a Barbie doll that looks exactly like
Kelly LeBrock.
And they clamp the two ends of the battery terminals to her.
Little weird chants.
Yeah.
Wearing we forgot about like the brawls
on the
heads and
it's ceremonial, man.
yeah, but they had to do it. But it's fun. It's fun.
Absolutely fun. So as this whole process is unfolding, it ends up just running away with itself, and it runs out of their control. It's now on autopilot, and there's no going back. We're now in that Frankenstein scene where the sky is red, and you see lightning striking all over the place, and even striking the house. Like it's all about to happen. Everything's happening, and everything's, again, completely out of their control. Well, windows are breaking. The storm is coming. Anything they can do to possibly stop this because they're afraid, and I'd be afraid too, man.
They're like, what do we do?
I've just created a national disaster here.
What is happening?
So they unplug their computer, throw it out the window. They do all kinds of stuff, and magically, while they're hiding under the desk from the bathroom, from Wyatt's own bathroom,
the door explodes.
The door explodes open, and out walks Kelly LeBrock.
But she comes out. There's like the steam and like.
I mean, she was just created out of thin air.
Yeah,
true.
Insane.
Yeah.
She looked great though. She had on that outfit.
You think about that door exploding like that takes you back to like your hormones when you're like that age. It's kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for?
The symbolism was
Symbolism.
special.
But she had on like those little blue.
Oh, yes.
Her little blue shorts and the cut off white
her little
top.
pants. Women call them panties. I still call them underpants.
Underpants.
Pantalones.
No mas pantalones. So yes, here stands this beautiful, perfectly intelligent with unlimited magical powers.
Right.
Woman.
And an accent.
And
yes,
and an English accent, which in and of itself is a draw.
Oh my God, I love it.
Was this right away where she was like, "What do you boys want to do first?"
Yeah, I want this. So they jump in the shower.
Yeah.
But that's funny. Like, yeah, go ahead.
They jump in the shower, and there's these two just looking her over, and the facial expressions on Gary, which was Anthony Michael Hall, like his facial expressions were just incredible.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this naked broad is in front of them, and neither of these guys know what to do. I mean, these guys couldn't get their hand pregnant. It's just amazing what these guys are what's got to be going through these guys' head.
But in a shower with Kelly LeBrock, and you have your pants on.
Yeah,
Yep.
pants and socks and shoes,
everything on.
Yeah.
Well, I watched the thing from Awesome Con, it was called, and those three were on the panel taking questions and stuff. And that actual scene took days to film because those two were giggling, and they're 15, 16 at the time. And all she had on was like a Band-Aid over her,
Oh, she put Band-Aids on her nipples?
Yeah, nipples. And then like a pair of, I forget what kind of pants they were called, but basically to look like
sheer,
your nude, whatever down below. But they were just giggling and laughing and stuff. And it extended that filming scene, which should have only took like a couple hours.
At best.
Days, yeah, but they said they weren't that upset about it going on and on.
No.
Well, they were, 14, 15?
He was, I think, 15 wide. And then Anthony Michael Hall might have been, he was born in 69. So this was, he was probably 16.
I think Kelly LeBrock was 24.
24, 25 at the time.
Yeah, 24, 25.
God damn. No wonder I love this movie so much as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, because the ages are right on, man. Like these guys are actual, factual, for real deal, Holyfield teenagers.
Teenagers.
Right.
Yeah, they're kids, man.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yep.
So after getting a quick shower, after having just been created, everybody dresses up to go out for a night on the town. Or the other option was to have just a bunch of people over, but let's just go out first. Baby steps. It was interesting. When Wyatt and Gary had first gotten dressed up, like Gary's wearing some kind of bullshit red jacket.
Yeah.
That you just won the shittiest golf tournament ever, which had belonged to Chet, and they look like ass.
Oh, we didn't really talk about that.
And they walk when they walk out of their bedrooms, and now all of a sudden, magically they're transformed.
Oh, when they open the door.
Yeah, Lisa is magical. Like we didn't even know that. Like she not only is she's the most intelligent, most good-looking, gorgeous woman on earth,
but she can snap her finger, almost like a genie.
She can do magic. She can do anything that you desire.
Right. America would agree.
Yes.
I could have sworn I said she had unlimited magical powers, but I might be mistaken.
You probably did. Yeah, I just probably missed. I know what you're saying, though, but yeah.
Unlimited.
How does she do it?
Magical. She's everything they wanted.
Right.
She's the perfect woman.
A government computers can give you this.
Like they can, she's theirs, right? So they can say, "Give me a ham and cheese sandwich."
Yeah,
and like any good woman would do, she would snap her fingers and there it would appear. Here's your sandwich.
They didn't even have sexy time yet.
Nope.
Wow.
That we know of.
Yeah, well, no, they just had a shower.
True.
Yeah.
So everybody's dressed up. Everybody's now dressed to the nines. Again, in true magical Lisa form, she miracles herself up a 1959 pink Cadillac Eldorado, which I don't know if you've ever looked at the price on those things these days. You're looking at $250,000.
For real, that much?
Oh my God, yeah.
Jeez.
For that 59, like that was the biggest fins, biggest everything year.
The most. I see what you're saying.
For a good one, like you're looking at $250,000.
Didn't Aretha Franklin, didn't she sing about the pink Cadillac?
Oh, she did.
Would you say that was the most lavish then? They were just trying to make it like over the top. So that was the year that it was kind of, everything was over the top with that particular car?
Yep.
Okay. That's cool to know.
Yeah, the 59 Cadillac Eldorado. I mean, if you can get your hands on one, do it. Don't sleep on that.
No.
That's an investment. So in the pink Cadillac, off they go. Hell, and they don't even have a name for her yet. So they don't. No. On their way to wherever they're going, they come up with the name. Gary offers the idea of Lisa. I guess it was some girl that
he had a crush on.
He had a crush on and ended up kicking him in the nuts.
Kicked him in the nuts.
Had ended up kicking this guy in the nuts.
In the nuts?
But
yeah,
right, man, I'll tell you the truth. So what do you mean on the telephone? So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He comes up with the name Lisa. She magically changes her license plate to read Lisa, and off they go. And they find themselves in the just a dive bar in Chicago. And they walk in, and it's just like if
the records.
3 white guys walk into a black bar, you're going to hear the record skip, and that's exactly what happened.
Like an Animal House. Wasn't that Animal House?
Pretty much.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. So they make their way in. They have a sit down. They find their way to a nice cozy table surrounded by a bunch of the locals.
Right.
Just to, mix and mingle. These are teenagers that are now exposed to, middle-aged dudes.
Right.
At a bar.
At a bar.
Drinking all night.
Cigars,
smoking cigars, hanging out, having drinks. Cigars.
They get offered drinks.
And then these older men also see this fine-looking woman walking in with 2 kids.
Right.
Probably looking like, is this their mom? Like, what? Who are these people?
In fact, so Dino, who was again John Capellos, the janitor from Breakfast Club, he's playing this seedy. I don't know, like maybe he's Italian. Let's just assume he's Italian.
It was a weird character type,
but yeah, it's a greasy looking dude.
Oh yeah.
Again, I'm not sure if it's more Italian or if it's something of a Spanish nature, but who's to say? Anyway. He's basically
Puerto Rican. I think he was trying to be like.
There
a Puerto
you go,
Rican guy.
Puerto Rican. So he says to Lisa, he's like, listen, you're a beautiful woman. What are you doing with a couple of malakas like these guys? to which Anthony Michael Hall just responds, look, I don't know, Dina. I guess she's just into malakas.
She's into malakas. She's into malakas.
So Dino's laugh in that is incredible. Like I wish I could mimic that laugh. It basically sounds like the end part of Woody Woodpecker's laugh.
Oh yeah,
If you
Like the like that part.
correct,
Yeah.
like it's so hilarious just to hear him laugh.
yeah,
So now we fast forward by an hour or two. Like you don't see much happening, like at all. Maybe they walk into the bathroom. You know, the guys turn back around and whatever, but not much of import.
Well, no, they're actually being with this fine looking woman.
Hanging out.
They're starting to fit in. They're telling their life stories.
And let's everyone agree for sure that the draw for all of these two white kids, teenagers, would have had no chance in this bar had they not been with Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
So all of these old heads are like, yeah, man, wherever she is, I don't care who she's with, she's
We'll hang
very
out
much
with her.
welcome at this table.
Yeah, and
Right.
and the people that she was with, the two teenage boys, are probably, man, these guys got to be cool somehow to be able
Ballers.
to
Right.
be with a woman like this.
Yeah, what's the
So,
dynamic?
Yeah,
They're
what is?
probably
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah.
Absolute ballers.
Yeah.
They're
So-
having a good time though.
Oh,
They're
my
starting to have
God,
a good
yeah.
time at the bar.
So much of a good time that as time passes, Anthony Michael Hall, Gary, has had plenty in him at this point.
Right.
He's got a cigar in his mouth. He's got the fedora on, or the bigger hat, and he's just sitting there. And his voice has now changed to that of I don't know,
Like an older, I don't know, like an older black man,
an older
type,
black bluesy.
bluesy,
Like I think you called it
jazz,
jazzy. The one
yeah,
time.
jazz.
Good description. Yeah.
or how, as you were referring to earlier,
Well, it's
Okay,
a fun fact. Yeah.
a fun fact, but I mean, you could bring it up now because it comes in well with the play, or
Yeah, well, this scene, I guess, was based on, he did it in the Breakfast Club, and it was like based on a Richard Pryor character that he called Mudbone. I guess he would go to John Hughes's house and hang out and watch these old movies and comic stuff. He had like Richard Pryor comedy albums and different things, and he would mimic that.
mm-hmm.
And John Hughes would laugh and crack up, and he's like, "We're going to use that," and then they ended up using it in Breakfast Club, and then obviously he did it again in Weird Science.
This one was clutch,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely clutch compared to the Breakfast Club one. This one was
it wasn't
amazing.
anything. Breakfast Club wasn't even close to this.
He honed it, and got better, way better at it.
He sure
What-
did.
and I think even like bringing it out in like that seedy bar in Chicago around all that, like the blues music in the background, and I think it just brought out this character.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right. Well, I'm sure we're going to hear it in a little bit, but you two do a damn good rendition.
We get there. we try. This is just one of those movies. Like I'm sure that I beat the shit out of it, trying to mimic a
to
voice
get that, just
from. Well, I know recently I had done it in Coming to America, just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm that guy. Like I mentioned before, like I will often speak in movie quotes, right?
Right.
So then when I have somebody with an accent, that's just something that resonates with me, and it just keeps going on and on. And I know it's the same for Matt too.
Right.
So as these guys are, drinking, here we are, hours into the night. Gary's telling a story of basically the origin of Lisa, or at least this girlfriend. So
yeah,
he's
his
telling all
girlfriend.
these old dudes. He was like, "Man, I was crazy in love with this," and he says eighth grader.
Right.
He says eighth grader.
For real?
And these guys don't even pay attention to it. And he
Right.
tells you, yeah, man, she had, big boobs and big this and that and the other thing. Like, I just loved her. I called
What
her.
called her the bazoo?
The titties. Get the big titties.
Big titties.
Yeah, big. She had big titties.
Big titties.
She had titties for the rest of her life.
For the rest of her life.
I tell you the truth, man. I called her every day. Every day?
He called her every day
On the telephone?
on the telephone.
Man, what you mean on the telephone? Of course, man, what's this guy asking me about the telephone? He's just asking the story, man. Just give him a little, drink it. Let him go. Let him go. Let him tell the story.
Let him tell the story, man.
So these guys get out. So as he's telling the
Bring
story, Lisa helps him out, finishing the sentences because Gary's drunk as shit and he's going off the rails, just completely off the whole topic. And Lisa finally finishes it with, and she kicked him in the nuts and left him and walked away.
Man, she kicked him in the nuts.
In the nuts.
You wonder how many drinks that was, like being 15, 16.
3.
It was probably
I think,
like
yeah, no.
2 shots or something.
I think he probably had about 3 drinks in him.
I mean, tolerance is probably low.
Low, that's what I'm
especially for
thinking.
these two.
Right.
I mean, unless they were trying that Listerine.
Oh, yeah.
practice
Maybe
we were
they were
talking
drinking mouthwash.
It could have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was pretty much his scene. The other dude was just sitting there, just
Snapping his
chilling.
fingers.
Yeah,
He had a
chilling to the
cigarette.
music.
He had a
Yeah.
cigarette in his hand that wasn't lit.
Right.
Although, in Gary's defense, Gary's cigar wasn't lit either.
Right. I
But
feel
it
kind of
wasn't.
like Wyatt right now because you guys got it down. I'm just sitting over snapping my fingers.
So at the end of this scene, this is where Gary, I forget what he says.
Well, remember he goes to give the high five.
Oh, that's it. So he goes
That's
to
how this whole thing, and they're like, "That's it,
it's party's
Boys done.
over.
Yeah, boys done."
So he falls out of his seat, trying to give the high five. Thank you, Matt. And he falls on the floor. Off they go. And they're driving home. But Lisa's not driving. Wyatt's driving.
Yep.
Oh, give me the key.
So as they're driving, he says, before they leave, Wyatt's like, Lisa says, I don't want to drive. Who will drive? And he says, give me the keys.
He's like, give me the keys. Give me the keys. Like, I don't know, something like that.
His voice does change like while they're on their way out the door. And then now we're in the car scene.
This is one of Zapp's classic lines.
So Wyatt's just afraid to drive because he does not have his license.
Right. He's
and
15.
let's not forget, in real life, this kid's 15 years old.
Right.
So here he is doing this as a the role in the film. So he's scared shitless driving, and Anthony Michael Hall's back there just, give me the keys, give me the keys.
He's just moving all around. But he also has his big pip hat on.
He still has the pip hat on. The Cadillac's converted and everything like that.
And then his buddy, trying to be the voice of reason here, is like he can't drive. Lisa, you're gonna, and Lisa's like, you're gonna drive. He's like, I can't drive.
Yeah.
But why can't he drive?
Why can't he drive? He ain't even got his license, Lisa.
Yes, pretty much. And there it is.
God, that's so good. So good. Oh.
That's the one I've heard you guys use over the year, over different episodes too.
But then
I think it came up once or twice.
I feel like if we hadn't been doing this morning, it might have come out better. But whatever. That was my shot.
Yeah,
it was good, man.
You took your shot.
You took your shot and you blew it. So they return home drunk as a skunk, and this is when we meet Chet, Wyatt's mean old brother.
Yep.
And this is just the epitome of asshole older brothers. Who, I mean, extorts money from him, threatens him.
Is this where does Wyatt get the kissy poo on this part, or no? This is where they just go in. Chet's there.
So in the beginning, no kiss yet. We've got to put drunk ass Gary to bed.
That's right.
So in the process of putting drunk ass Gary to bed, these two walk by Chet, and we're introduced to Chet. And Chet, if he sees Gary, he said, "Look, if he pukes, you're dead," as he says to
That's
Wyatt.
Right. Yeah.
And this is the part where we see Chet like trying to mimic vomiting, and he said,
Chet's just a complete asshole.
Just a complete asshole.
He's the older brother,
blowing smoke in his
smoking his face,
smoking a cigar, and right in his face, and he trying to get Gary sick. He's like, "How about a nice greasy pork sandwich served up in a dirty ashtray?"
And this fun fact on that, that's what Bill Paxton got that from his dad. Used to say that to him when he caught him coming home drunk in high school. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a fun fact.
I had no idea.
And that's where he got it from. His dad would be like, "How about a nice greasy pork sandwich?" And be like, and he did kind of the same stuff that he did to the boys in this movie.
His dad.
Yeah, he was mimicking his dad.
Interesting. So Gary's put to bed.
Whatever. Like, I can't even get that laugh down.
Oh, Bill Paxton's laugh? Yeah, watching that last night, I tried it for a second. There's no way.
So I
It was
can't.
something like that. He was like kind of like sucking in him as like.
But the dude is like his character in this was I think was a great part of the movie because he was such a dick.
He had
That
quite
haircut.
possibly the worst haircut. Thank you, Dave. The worst haircut. Like when it's shorter on top, but the sides and the back are longer.
Yeah.
Like that's like some kind of weird inverted mullet. I just can't even imagine.
Yeah, that was bad.
Just a bad haircut. So
he's trying to be like he's an army kind of guy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So Gary goes to bed. Now Wyatt's alone. Wyatt's standing outside. He walks out, to a nice little patio area.
Yes, this is the part.
And from behind him comes Lisa. As he steps outside and he looks for Lisa. Lisa, are you out here? Oh, I'm right behind you. And they turn around, and this is essentially, if I'm not mistaken, this is Wyatt's first ever kiss. Like he's never kissed before.
No.
And he's learning how to kiss from a 24-year-old sex goddess. Supermodel sex pot.
Right.
And this was also a fun fact where he was trying to slip her the tongue when they were, because, he was like, wow, I'm not going to get this opportunity.
This is the equivalent of turning 16 and getting keys to like a Ferrari or something,
Correct.
And like, okay, after that, you're going to go back to, you're just starting at the pinnacle.
See, this is fun stuff in the 80s that happened. Like,
Right.
you could have a hot 24-year-old supermodel kiss a 14, 15-year-old boy.
Right.
I guess boy, yeah. Kid.
Yeah, he was 15.
Young
I'm pretty
man,
sure
young
15 at the time, and she was, I think, 25.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's something you can grow up and tell, all your friends, hey, I made out with her.
Right.
But I think LeBrock did push him back one time that I read and said, stop.
Like, dude, you're too young. You're getting a little pervy here.
You're getting a little out of control.
A little much.
Relax. It's just like a kiss. It's in the script. I'm not into you.
Right.
I'm banging Sting, man.
And again, let's not forget. I mean, this is again a teenage kid. Like shit.
Right.
And like everything Matt said. Like this is my one chance. Fuck it. I'm going for it. I mean, you can see, like, she slaps him on the face. She does whatever.
Slap to the face.
Punch to the face. Bottle drive to the face. It's funny watching the kiss. Like you can see like his mouth and the typical Hollywood kiss, right, where mouths are moving and shit like that. She pulls away and his mouth is still going.
Still going.
Yeah. Look, just little subtleties.
Did he do? Was there the fourth wall on this?
I don't remember.
I was trying to think if he kind of like looked over at the camera after. But no, I don't have to.
There might be a scene where Gary breaks it.
I'm pretty sure they do it like once in this movie, but I'm
thinking that the one with Gary was maybe from not Breakfast Club, 16 Candles.
Maybe
where he's with the underwear.
Yes,
yeah,
that's correct.
I'm wondering if that maybe it was in this too.
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Needless to say, so evening comes, morning follows. We wake up the next day. Gary and Wyatt are speaking to one another, talking about, man, what a hell of a night last night.
What happened?
Yeah,
that was one hell of a dream that we both shared. We both had, but of course, Gary. Well, in your dream, did you wake up in the middle of the night and go puke in your sink?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Then we had different dreams.
Yeah, different dreams. We're not on the same page.
So Wyatt walks past Gary as they're, they both slept in his bedroom. He had two, twin beds. He walks out and he's wearing Lisa's underpants.
Yeah, the blue. Wait a second, though. So did they?
Yeah. You wonder.
Ooh, I wonder. No. I know they didn't. I know they didn't. So So he walks downstairs wearing the panties, and he sees Lisa, and she's complaining to him. She's like, "Look, I'm your fantasy woman. I was 10 minutes into my gymnastics routine, and you passed out. So okay." Maybe, like, whatever.
Right.
So
gymnastics, she doesn't say where she was doing the gymnastics routine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Could have been on the ding-a-lingy.
Could have been.
Maybe.
My goodness. Drink it.
So now you hear Chet walking around, and Wyatt, is all of a sudden, frozen with fear. He's like, holy shit,
What am I going to say to Chet?
How am I going to explain this to Chet? You got to go hide yourself. I can't let him seeing you. Like, I can't. This is too much to explain. Like, Chet will murder me. There will be fucking murders here.
Right.
So Lisa's
like, hell with that. I'm the smartest, coolest woman in the world.
And reminds these guys, though, there's an ongoing theme throughout this movie that you guys need self-confidence.
Right.
You really need to believe in yourselves, and just you don't need to impress everybody else. Just be yourselves.
I'm glad you said that, because these two think of themselves as like the shittiest people on earth. Yeah, they're not cool, outcasts, trying to make friends. And then she's just like, you just need a little bit of, and that's what she's basically there for.
Yep, just to give them that boost, just that one-time boost. It's like that one-time hit, like you just hit an instant ticket for like 10 grand or whatever. Like, oh man, I'd feel great. Life's good. It's all they needed. But like the good woman she is, because again, she's there to serve them. She, agrees. She walks out of the room, just out of the kitchen, just as Chet's walking in. Chet walks in, is talking to Wyatt for a moment, takes Wyatt's breakfast, says, go, make your own breakfast. And as Wyatt's walking away, that's when Chet sees him wearing
the
blue
underwear.
pants.
Yeah, it's like nice panties.
He's
something
wearing
like
the blue underpants. And so Chet, immediately Wyatt knows, oh shit, I'm in trouble. So he turns around, he comes and he's explaining it to Chet. Oh, it was a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's not funny.
Right.
That's not funny. That's deeply disturbed, man. There's a problem there, man. And this is now like, oh man, Dad's going to have a stroke. Dad's going to stroke when he hears about this. Okay, Chet, what do I owe you? What's it going to cost for you to keep your mouth shut? Again, this is just the extortion ongoing. Chet asks him for his V.C.R. to start. So, okay, fine, you can have the V.C.R. And they part.
All for wearing women's panties.
All just for wearing women's
Didn't he
panties.
throw his towel at him too? Like, here, cover up.
Cover yourself.
Yeah.
As that leaves Chet naked.
Right.
But whatever, it's Chet. He's a man.
Cover yourself.
So this next day, they're make their way to the.
Is this the mall scene?
Yeah, they make their way to the local mall.
And these are when malls were jumping.
That mall was packed.
Yeah, there's people there. There's stores. Unlike if you go to the malls in our area, there's like no stores and no people.
They're getting ready to knock one down, actually.
Did they say that they're going to do that now?
That's the room. That's what I heard.
They say they're going to make it look like it is in Hershey, that Hershey Plaza area.
Yeah.
So
the malls, as we know it, I think are like.
There's a couple still that are hanging on. King of Prussia.
I mean, I am missing malls. Just seeing that scene of all of those high school kids in the mall on a Saturday, like that was just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And kids, they would get dressed up like it's a place, it's an event. Like you don't go there, wearing like these kids today. I see them out in like pajama bottoms.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
We're getting old, man.
Right,
we're getting old.
I guess I need to get into making TikTok videos or some shit.
Pajama bottoms and what Crocs? Everybody got Crocs and pajama bottoms.
I don't get it. Like everybody's now, all of the shoppers have left Walmart. They're everywhere.
Right.
Anyway,
like zombies and stuff.
Nobody cares anymore. So while at the mall, Gary and Wyatt are sitting there pondering life. They go to buy some perfume.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They say, buy. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. Oh, the chicks asks them if it's for their mommy. No, this is for our girlfriend, our sex pot.
Yeah.
As they go on to explain. So they get, we'd like a 2 cents. Forget it. Get cent, SCENT. 2 cents. In fact, one for yourself too. We'd like 3 cents.
Right.
So they buy those and off they walk and they go for a seat on the first floor. On the second floor above them, Ian and Max.
Yep.
Ian and Max see them.
Iron Man.
They look down. That's right. They look down and they see these guys below, and they're standing there with their 2 girlfriends, Deb and Hilly, and it strikes up. It's just it's time to be an asshole. So Ian and Max.
But they have their shakes or their
There's a
slushies.
It was with icy.
Icy, that's what it was. Yeah.
And they slowly but surely line up, and they tip the icy over, and it lands predominantly on Gary.
Mostly, yes.
Mostly on Gary, but certainly plenty on Wyatt. I think one of the most amazing scenes was as all of this redness had just flopped down Anthony Michael Hall's hair. He just flips it all back, and all of a sudden it disappears, like it's buried in his hair.
Right.
Like that kid had a crop of hair.
Yeah, they'd have a lot of hair.
I like the way they did that too. They were kind of like, you know what? Fuck it again.
They're sitting there, legs crossed.
Just chilling.
Just taking. Like,
I'm just going to move along.
The whole mall's laughing at them. The entire mall is laughing at them. But yeah, exactly. They just sit there, take it in stride. It's not like they're not used to this.
Right.
Again, they were just pantsed the day before.
Right.
So
it's just one of them things. They're like, hey, it's us again. I get it.
Bullying.
Yeah. Damn bullies. Did they have anti-bullying? I don't think they had anti-bullying in the 80s.
Back then, no.
I think it was like a rite of passage.
Yeah. Anti-bullying was your fists back in my day.
That's basically it.
Yeah. You couldn't do anything really about it. Just had kids that were asshole bullies.
Until they get punched in the face.
Right.
Pile driven to the face.
Or you kick them in the nuts and run away.
Kick them in the nuts. In the nuts? So we are now at a cutscene where we see. So I'm sorry. So Deb and Hilly are upset with Ian and Max. They walk
because
away.
They think they're assholes too.
For all of 10 seconds, they're weighing their options. Like, wow, these two are assholes, but they're so popular. If we break up with them, now we're not going to be popular. What do we do? I guess we have to forgive them. Okay. So they all make up and everything's great. And the scene while they're having this discussion, and in the background, Max and Ian are standing there like making sexual dances.
Yes, the whole time when they're turning, they turn their backs and they're doing the.
Like Downey was preparing for his role in what was that movie? Charlie Chaplin.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because he was like
silent actor.
Yeah, he's in the back.
So they all kiss and make up, and everybody's happy again. At least these 4. Max and Ian and Max and Deb and Hilly, and so they go off. And
let's make our way. Then they go make their way down the escalator.
As they're going down the escalator, the 2 chicks are in front, and
Lisa's
Max and Ian
coming
are
on
back.
up,
and they're going down, and Lisa is coming up. Max and Ian see Lisa, of course, and they can't keep their eyes off of her. They're jumping all over the place.
Yeah, if you've seen this woman at a mall in the 80s, you know she's not from that area.
That area, yeah.
Correct.
You're just like, what? Wait, what?
She's for sure from out of town.
Mm-hmm. She's an out of towner.
Yeah.
And so she just keeps walking, her merry way. Ian and Max swiftly jump they jump off of that escalator and they run in between the up and down escalators. Like they didn't jump over far enough to get onto the up. They just jumped in between the two, and they're running up the rail.
Yeah, they were just with Deb and Hilly. They just got back with them,
and they kept going. Deb and Hilly kept going.
They were like, and they were like, no, we're not even mentioning where we're going.
Lisa continues to walk through the mall. She passes by a line of like 6 or 7 dudes, and then a girl in the front of the whole standing. They're all standing there. They all seem to have like very similar haircuts too, by the way.
Flock of seagulls.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah. She walks by. All these dudes are just falling over, head over heels, looking at this girl. And you can see, looking at Lisa, and you can see the one girl in the front of the line just shaking her head like, ew.
Like whatever.
Yeah,
Which is so just her saying, I'm jealous, essentially.
Right.
So Max and Ian catch up with Lisa. They try to have some small talk, like, hey, we saw you on the elevator. Sure, yeah. I saw you. They're talking about this, that, and the other thing. And
are they outside of the mall yet?
They just got outside.
Okay.
Having chit chat. They're trying to come on to Lisa as best as they can. She's blowing them off completely. When out of nowhere, this black, beautiful, pristine Porsche 928.
Ooh.
That's the one I would want, not
Rolls
the Ferrari.
Right.
I want the 928.
And it's just sitting there going,
with the rounded back kind of.
Yeah.
And then the window goes down, correct?
The window goes down. Sitting in this driver's seat, lo and behold, Anthony Michael Hall, and in the back, or Gary, and in the back is Wyatt. Gary, come on, Lisa, we got to go. Time to go. So, sorry.
He said, just like that though. It's kind of like, and the what are the guys' names? I can't think of them now.
Ian and Max.
Ian and Max are just standing there like, what the? Are you kidding me?
What is happening?
Because the way,
dumbfounded.
the way he talked to her too was just like, come on, honey, come on, Lisa.
Yep.
They get in the car, they're kissing.
Yeah.
So she gets in the car and she says, "Oh, we're going to be having a party tonight. There's going to be a party." While she's sitting there telling this to Max and Ian. Anthony Michael Hall is kissing on her neck, and then he comes around and his lips are trying to kiss hers while she's talking. Pretty funny. So this is again, now we see this. These are kids who have no clue how to drive an exotic sports car like this. I mean, they peel out and they get the hell out of there, and off they go.
Drifting. It's like,
which I'm sure that was another driver who did that. I don't think that was Anthony.
No,
for damn sure. So at this point now they're planning the party.
Big party time, because that's how you make friends in high school. Is you have to have a party.
Huge party is happening tonight. Again, she told Max and Ian. Word passes, quite quickly. When it comes to party time, of course, Gary and Wyatt are complete strangers to parties.
Right.
So Lisa opens wide the door of Wyatt's house, and you see outside. There's
army of people.
Absolutely hundreds, a few hundred.
Yeah,
kids are standing out there. Hi, they all just pile in the house. Lisa was kind enough to set up this huge spread of food on the table that gets inhaled in seconds.
Oh, they do. They come back. Boom, boom.
The kids come in, and then all of a sudden, it's gone.
Well, Gary and Wyatt, they're still they're unsure about what's going on also. They're like freaking out a little bit. Lisa's telling them to chill out. Like, this is kids' party at your age. It's what they do.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot before the party.
Of Gary's parents.
Yeah. Before the party, Lisa has to go get Lisa has to go pick up Gary. So again, despite Wyatt's protest, like, God, we can't do this. We can't have a party at my house. My parents will kill me. Chet will kill me. Look, we're having a party. That's it. It's done. I'm going to go get Gary. So she goes and gets Gary, where quite possibly the most awkward conversation you could ever have between, like, basically just this one kid and his parents with this hot as hell woman who's not, she has no punches to hold here. She's telling the parents exactly what's going to go down.
A party. It's a party.
Soiree.
Chips, dip.
Chains, whips,
chips, dips, chains, whips.
No nipple, no candle wax on the nipples or anything like that.
So nothing too crazy like wax on the nipple or witchcraft or anything like that.
Gary.
So all this while, okay, so this is just explained quite clearly and succinctly to Gary's parents. And Gary stands up. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go. And, Gary's dad's like, where do you think you're going? And Gary's dad's like, you're not going anywhere. Sit down. And, of course, Gary's beside himself. Yes, sir. He sits down. Lisa at one point had mentioned, she's talking about Gary, like, do you know he has to, he masturbates in the shower or he does whatever. And the mom's like, Gary, you told me you were combing your hair.
Yeah.
Mom, I swear.
Right.
I don't know what she's talking about, Mom.
So ultimately, as Lisa is fighting with Gary's dad, has Gary's mom call the cops, and he gets
It's
the receiver.
enough. Yep.
This is over. I'm calling the cops on you. This is done. And Lisa pulls out this big, 357 Magnum
Dirty,
revolver.
hairy-looking thing.
Yeah. Huge revolver. Points it at Gary's dad and like, look, we're leaving. Your kid will be home when he gets home. Best of luck. And off they go. And as they're driving to Wyatt's house,
Gary's having a nervous breakdown.
Pulled
a
says
gun
to
on the
Lisa,
dad.
like, look, man, I'm out now, but I'm going to have to go home soon, or I'm going to have to go home at some point and face the music to this. To which Lisa Lisa responds, "Oh, they won't remember it. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. They won't remember it."
She wipes minds now too.
Right.
She's a mind
Like
wiper.
a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
She is Jedi,
Yeah.
So they're just sitting there, just like nothing happened, reading the paper.
just like nothing happened. And the mother mentions Gary nonchalantly. Gary's dad says, "Who's Gary?"
She might have did too good of a job.
But she shows that the gun, the 357, she points it then at Gary while they're driving to the party and squirts him in the face. She's like, it's a squirt gun.
So that was fake.
Yeah.
At least that one was.
Oh,
Foreshadowing.
yeah.
That's right. So meanwhile, we get back to Wyatt's house. These two are together. They're dressed. They're ready to go. Did either of you notice Wyatt's shoes?
Giorgio Brutini.
So thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. That looked like a straight pair of Giorgio Brutini shoes.
Not Bruno Mali's.
Right.
Not Giorgio Brutini.
So this is actually going to drop before they're referencing, so we're foreshadowing an episode to come. So keep an eye out for Giorgio Brutini.
It was the
That's
same
good.
kind of fake skin on it, like snake skin with the shiny
Little-
fronts and backs.
Little metal covers on the front and back.
That's right.
Ever so subtle. I think Wyatt's had like a chain in the back.
Oh,
Yeah, they were some flashy shit. So these two are all dressed up, ready to go, but a party's going on without them at Wyatt's house. Like these two are the stars of the party, and they're afraid to go see
they're in
anybody.
the bathroom.
Hanging out in the bathroom, hiding in the bathroom. In fact, at one point,
The two lady friends
the two
come
ladies, Deb and Hilly, walk in, and this is their first introduction to them. And it's an awkward conversation because these two are hanging out in the bathroom.
And then Wyatt, he was taking a dump because he had like his
in. Irritable
stomach-
bowel or something.
his stomach's jacked up.
Yeah, he had shat in that main bathroom. They're lighting a match. In fact, they open the door to let Deb and Hilly in, and you can see Wyatt back there shaking a match out
Right.
that he had just lit to try to mask the smell. So they have a quick little conversation with these two. They go into the shower stall to actually say,
jump back.
so what happens next? Like, what are we going to do? Here's the game plan. Okay, let's break. And when they come back out, there's just these two homely looking,
Just
girls.
regular girls standing
What
there.
was that about? Was that her?
Deb and Hilly had left, and two people
Just two other
came in.
girls in.
But
They looked like they were supposed to be them.
I thought it was like maybe her playing her magic again, like switching them so they would leave or something like that.
or
I
that they
thought-
wouldn't be stuck there.
But no, you're right.
It's
'cause
possible. It was just, I think, just by chance, Deb and Hilly walked out, and two other girls
girls.
were just waiting to come in.
I gotcha. Okay.
So in the meantime, Deb and Hilly go downstairs. They meet Lisa. Lisa explains to them, like, "Oh my God, if you get the chance, shower with them.
I highly recommend it.
It's great.
It's a real mind scrambler."
Right.
Now this of course impresses Deb and Hilly.
Like, how did these two guys get this lady?
Which I don't know how how a woman's mind works, certainly. But so as a dude, and if I'm going after, some girl, if I hear that she's dating a guy or she's doing whatever with a guy, that's going to detract me. Like, I would not be attracted to that. In
Right.
fact, that is a hindrance. Oh, okay. Well, she's off the market, off to the next one.
Right.
Apparently in girls' minds, that's actually an attractive thing. That is a driver.
Like,
like-
oh,
it's
I
like
want
the-
to get with them.
it's
now.
It's like a challenge they need to overcome.
Like the
Right.
crackhead Pete Davidson. Like, girls are like really into that guy, even though he looks like a homeless dude in New
'Cause
York.
what does he have?
He has nothing.
BDE. That's what they say.
Yeah, the BDE. But I'm saying these girls, they end up breaking in. They're like, oh, I'm going to try him. He seems fun because, so-and-so and so-and-so were with him. So I'm going to be in that line of cool girls
That makes no sense to
that
me.
had the
No,
sexy time.
I mean, it
Makes-
doesn't.
Sexy time makes no sense to me. So anyways, in the meantime, we see, again, the party's going on. Everything is great. And Max and Ian see Lisa there, and they move in on Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're talking to Lisa, and Lisa, tells them, like, look, I'm theirs.
Yeah, they own me
Like,
pretty
I'm-
much.
they-
You got to ask anything you want me to do with you. If they say yes, if they give the permission, I'll do it. I don't care.
That's
Because
right.
I
They made
belong
me
to
or
them.
created
Yeah.
me or whatever.
That's right.
And these guys are like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
But it's all part of the movie.
So Max and Ian then approach. We see a cutscene now where Max and Ian have approached Gary and Wyatt. They're sitting up in in Wyatt's bedroom, trying to convince these guys, like, look, we want Lisa. Essentially, we'll give you Deb and Hilly. Like, you can have. In fact, Ian or Max, the one that's not Robert Downey Jr., says, look, all we want is a crack at Lisa. We'll give you Deb and Hilly. All we want is just a crack. That's it. Just a try, just to see what happens. So Gary says, look, I'll do you one better. We'll make you a girl.
Make you a girl.
Yeah, we'll make you a girl.
We made one for ourselves. We'll make one for you.
And these guys are like, what the hell are you talking about? But we're in.
Yeah.
If you can get Elisa out of this.
Yeah. And so we repeat the process that had happened just the day before.
Lightning, thunder, whirlwinds, breaking into stuff.
Chicks playing piano.
They forgot that.
Yes.
So as all of this storm craziness is happening, as they're trying to create another woman, everything's getting sucked out of the house. You see a couch just shoot out somehow.
Through the chimney, yeah.
Couch shoot out through a chimney.
Everything's shooting out the chimney.
How do you fit a piano through a fucking chimney?
It happens.
That's got to be one hell of a chimney.
But it's weird
Yeah.
science.
Right.
I would have loved to have seen what it took, like what kind of catapulting dynamics it took to shoot a piano that high up into the air for it to land in the ground. Same with a couch. Like, a
Right.
couch isn't light, man.
Right.
Like, you're talking some serious weight. What would it have taken to shoot that thing so high and then shoot it out?
Because they didn't have, I don't think they had the special effects back then too.
No, hell no.
So yeah.
They probably put it on like a what is
Catapult.
that? Like a backhoe type thing, and just let it like swing it,
Maybe.
like, throw it up,
Maybe. I don't know.
and then they would just film the part of it coming down.
I'm no scientist, which is why I don't know how they could have pulled that off.
Right.
So they try to create this girl, and all the steps are happening.
Yeah, they got everything right. There was everything right except the doll lady.
That's right. They forgot the doll. And in that whole thing, Lisa reminds them, like, look, what have I been telling you? You're fine on your own. You need confidence, but no. You had to go to try and impress other people, and you had to try to go show off, and look what you did. And in doing all of that, you forgot one thing.
The USSR.
You forgot the doll.
Right.
However, they used the doll was going to be laying on a copy of Newsweek, where you see the two connectors, basically the battery terminals, at the top and bottom of a picture of an intercontinental
Missile.
ballistic missile, which we will see
A
pop up.
nuke missile.
No, P.S. So while in the scene where the couch is getting shot out and the piano's getting shot out, that's where that chick, all of her clothes gets sucked off of her.
The nude scene.
Yeah, all of her clothes get sucked off, and she then gets shot out of the chimney
Sucked
as
out
well.
of
Into the pool though. She lands safely. So there was
Was it like a pond or pool?
I think it was a pond.
pond. Yeah,
pond.
nobody was hurt in the filming of that scene.
Right.
No sexy piano players were
Yes.
hurt in the filming of this movie. So
Anyway, they messed up.
They
and
definitely-
then all of a sudden you feel or see this big missile coming through the middle of the house.
Yep, the real missile appears. It comes, it's coming through the floorboards. It's going up through the roof. Scary things are afoot.
And then a bird lands on top.
Ping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, while all of this is happening, Wyatt's grandparents arrive. Like they were out having dinner, and the voices on these people, they both sound like Mr. Howell
Yeah.
from Gilligan's Island. They're just the voices are just so awful.
Yeah.
So they walk in and they're telling all the kids, like, well, don't stop dancing, stop doing this, that, and the other thing, don't raise your shirt like that. And at least they find Lisa, and Lisa starts explaining to them what's going on. There's actually a great quick little one-liner that the guy says,
Don't take no baloney.
yeah, I don't want to, don't give me any of your baloney, or I won't stand for it. To which his wife says, he's right, he doesn't stand for baloney.
Yes. Mr. Howell.
Mr. Howell, that
Ish.
is good. Yeah.
So she takes them into the kitchen. They have their little chat, and that's all we see. No, we see nothing else of the grandparents at this point. Now, this is the part where Lisa, after having dealt with the grandparents, she says, "You know what? It's about time these boys prove themselves.
Right.
They really look. They've been getting off too easy. I keep fixing everything for them. They've been getting off too easy.
See, this part was weird too. Like, what a way to prove themselves. Like a Mad Max scene. Like a biker
Yeah.
gang riding through your living room. I
So-
thought there would be a better way to.
I don't know. So I mean, Mad Max, especially Road Warrior, like I'll take this one to the bank. Of all of the Mad Maxes, Road Warrior, the second one,
Mm-hmm.
by far and away the best. By far and away.
Right.
And this had already come out. So people were vastly familiar with that post-apocalyptic thing.
Right.
That whole thing, like the deserts and crazy ass teamed up vehicles that are, B.A. Baracus would be proud of.
Right. Yeah. Who would be the most badass?
Yeah.
That they could take down? Because if it was just some kids from high school,
Yeah.
it'd be like,
So she has these bikers show up, and they got whips and chains, and everybody's clad in leather, and the one chick's being drug around like she's a dog,
scaring people,
scaring the shit out of people. The one guy has like a metallic voice.
Yeah.
The guy with the metal
face.
they're like Rammstein, like the German industrial band.
Yes, indeed.
Du hast.
Yeah.
Du hast mich.
Du hast mich zu fahr. I think they say something like that. But
Yeah.
that's
So
a good
these
song though.
the bikers come in. There's a scuffle. They take Deb and Hilly hostage. Finally, Garrett and Wyatt, they find their nuts. They find their balls, and Gary pulls a gun out of his pocket. He points it right at the leader of the gang. He's like, you guys, take your whatever your shitty
bikie
people
gang
and just get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. So they all end up leaving. The one guy, when he's leaving, let's have lunch.
And that's the guy. Yeah. He was on.
Oh, hey man, I'm sorry. He's walking his bike out.
Yeah.
I like if you wouldn't say much about this.
Mhm.
And then he said, "Yeah, we should have lunch."
Yeah.
So the
That's that.
bikers leave, and everybody in the party gets to see that Gary and Wyatt are the heroes.
Right. They're badass.
So
Mhm.
this is it. This was that moment. Like, not just the party, but wow.
Yeah.
This really nailed it.
And that was
'Cause they
a
had that-
357.
Is that what the gun was?
That
Yeah.
was a gun one.
So in this case, this gun did not shoot water. It was not a water pistol.
It was an actual gun.
It was while the same gun, this time it's shooting bullets instead of water.
It's
which was
actually
even
real.
ballsier because he was going around. He's like, "No, it's a water gun," and it's.
Do you think though that because of her magic, when he was pointing it at him, it was water gun, and then she changed it?
Yeah, to make
real
it
gun for the
seem more
props.
ballsy.
So yeah, you see that little cool powwow like they did up in the bathroom where they're just talking to each other, like, should we do this? What do we gotta do? This and that, and they make the
You took the
decision.
big- it's like they're whispering back and forth
It was
quickly to each other.
It was a cool part.
Yep.
Yeah.
I missed it. So right before the biker gang shows up, Lisa shows them that she did in fact then freeze the grandparents. Like the kitchen
Oh,
is
yeah.
blue.
Comatose.
The kitchen, everything in the kitchen, including the people that were in the kitchen at the time that it happened, everything turned blue.
Blue. Mm-hmm.
The cabinets, the floors, the ceilings, and the people's clothes,
Mm-hmm.
all the same color.
There was a fun fact on that. I don't know if it was Hughes or somebody. They spray painted like the chips that were there. And
Yeah.
somebody on the set actually ate one.
That's awesome.
They were
Hey,
like,
one of the what?
one of the blue chips that they spray painted everything
Oh,
blue,
okay.
and they were like, you're not supposed to eat those. And he was like chewing on it.
That's fun.
So
Yeah.
that's a hell of a party.
Mm-hmm.
Party goes well. Again, grandparents are frozen. There's nothing to worry about, except there's still a missile sticking out of the house. The house is a complete and total
In ruins.
It's ruins.
In ruins.
Right.
Let's not forget that they drove motorcycles through the
Living room.
wall,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like right through the glass or from the patio coming in.
Yeah, they were jumping out. They are jumping through
Into
the wall into the dining room
rooms.
through the windows.
Yeah, these are the same windows and chimneys where entire rooms full of furniture had been sucked out. Like the house is a complete wreck, absolutely complete wreck.
Again, I thought a funny 80s concept right here is like the movie's completely like insane as it is. And as a, 15-year-old kid sitting there like, shit, what am I going to do about the house?
Yeah.
My
Right.
parents are coming home. I'm going to get in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Not like you have this woman here that just like wipes people's mind.
Right.
Is
And can-
incredibly gorgeous.
And can miracle up a cleaning
And it-
solution with
Like
the
it-
snap of her fingers.
And will do whatever you say, but whatever.
So here we are the next morning. Chet comes home. Uh-oh.
That's right. Yeah.
Bad times. Chet comes home. He finds, the house again in complete disarray. He finds that it's snowing in his room. It's actually snowing only in his room.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to find Gary and Wyatt. Where are they at? So he finds first Gary and the blonde chick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's Hilly or Deb. I don't care.
Right.
So he finds them laying in the bed. They were just, hanging out.
Hanging out.
Nothing
Right.
sexy. Just they had linked, like Hilly saw, or again, both of these girls saw both of these guys after they became heroes and like, wow, we want you guys.
We're gonna be with
Like
you now.
our shitty boyfriends, Max and Ian.
But see,
suck.
why couldn't they get to know them when they were just regular oddballs? I mean, they're the same people.
Right.
But so you had to do something like, shoot at the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently, that's what it takes back in the '80s to land a hot girlfriend.
I don't know why they just didn't give them a chance when they were
Right.
just regular guys, because they're the same people.
Chicks are mean, man.
Yeah.
Chicks are mean.
Same people.
So Chet finally finds, again, Gary and his girlfriend, and he finds Wyatt and his girlfriend. And, he's about to just murder the whole lot of them. And Lisa stops it all.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's really into Lisa.
Basically, look, you guys, you take the girlfriends home. I'm going to have a little chat with Chet.
Mm-hmm.
So these two take their girlfriends home. We see two completely different scenes. Gary takes his girlie home.
What were the cars that they were driving?
One was driving a red Ferrari convertible.
Mhm.
One was driving a black Porsche
The black
928.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Wyatt had the black Porsche, right?
Wyatt drove the black Porsche in this instance.
Yes, because
Gary got the Ferrari.
Gary got the Ferrari.
Because Gary had the Ferrari and ended up getting into a police chase on
That's
the way.
right.
Uh,
That town was dead. There was like nobody on the streets.
I think
but
they
I
were-
guess that makes sense.
They were
It's
filming
Sunday-
there.
It's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
True.
Sunday morning. Things used to be, fun fact, kids, it used to be quiet on Sunday mornings. Like,
Right.
businesses were closed on Sunday morning. Like Chick-fil-A, all businesses were like
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A.
all businesses were
Right.
Chick-fil-A, pretty much. All people did was go to church, and that's why they were called Sunday drivers, because they were the only people on the road.
That's
Right.
right. Yeah. Oh, I miss those days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could even, you couldn't get gas on Sundays in a little town that I grew up in.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
there was very few convenience stores open, let alone
Mhm.
gas stations.
Yep.
There might have been one, like I think a 7-Eleven, thus the name.
7 even backdoored little Joe.
hmm
Picked up the
They was
cash
on it.
flow.
Right.
Yeah, those were good times. But
So-
yes, Sunday morning, driving Ferraris, cops.
Gary the blonde takes the blonde girl home in the Ferrari. They kiss. They're now BFGF.
Yeah, they're a couple.
Wyatt takes the brunette girl home. They kiss. Now they're BFGF, and he
Right.
actually tells her he loves her right,
Right.
before he gets the sprinklers turn on on the lawn.
Right.
But what a great day though.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
a
these
great
guys
day.
proving themselves. They get the
Right.
girl in the end.
Yep. The ones they wanted.
Yeah, this whole movie happens over the course of one day. I'm sorry, 2 days.
Right.
2 days. It starts on a Friday morning at gym class, and it ends Sunday morning.
What a change.
Well, a lot can happen in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So Chet and Lisa.
Chet and Lisa. So in the meantime, Chet has a convo with Lisa. And Lisa basically, explains to him over and over and over again, like, look, you're an asshole. You're terrible to your brothers. You're this, that, and the other thing. And she ends up turning him. He won't listen to her. He doesn't give a shit. So she ends up turning him into this just disgusting blob of a thing. Now, I would.
Pile of shit.
It was a shit. It was shit because the
Is it?
flies were flying around. He was shit
Is that what it was supposed to be?
I'm
Yes.
thinking so.
because there was
That's what I
flies
always
buzzing.
thought.
Ring, ring, you heard them, and
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so. I'm now, tainted with what I see as a pile of shit, like on an emoji
Mhm.
or something like that. And I look back at that, and
that would look like a real pile of shit.
Now that
not
makes
like the
sense.
swirly cue,
yeah.
which you
Yeah.
thought was like ice cream.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought that was ice cream at first. I didn't
Oh,
know it was
that's
a pile of
right.
shit.
It's a poopy shit pile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she turns Chet into a pile of shit, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Completely makes sense.
Which at that scene, I think Chet was. They said he was claustrophobic. Like he hated the filming of that part of being put in the.
Get over
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
'cause it was like all hot and
Yeah.
shitty.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're claustrophobic. How's that paycheck working out for you?
Hey, I'm
Right.
saying this is actors. They struggle. They're struggling.
Please.
The
Well,
stuff
was,
that they asked them to do.
That was just like Pizza the Hut.
Mm-hmm.
They ran into that.
Yep.
They didn't want to be in the costume.
Well, you think about it, like that vinyl and stuff. That had to have been hard to be in there.
See, I'm telling you, I thought he was just some kind of just this mutant thing, like a mutant frog thing.
No, because
It
remember you
could
heard him
have
like
been.
pooping. It was going like.
So that was him gassing, versus he also had a tongue on him that went and grabbed
Shot
a
out.
fly.
Yeah.
So maybe some kind of reptilian mutant. I don't know, but either way, he's definitely, he looks like a pile of shit,
Yep.
despite being green and having warts and whatever, and just a nasty looking thing. He's just a terrible, terrible, terrible looking thing. Finally,
I think you're trying to say he was not a pile of shit.
I just, again, just having watched this yesterday, I
his
can't.
zapism, I felt the no, guys.
I'm sorry.
He was
Yeah.
not a pile of shit.
Not a pile of shit.
I think it's just how everybody interprets it different, I guess.
Yeah, go,
maybe,
you
dude.
see the movie and you tell us.
Yeah.
Colin
Well,
on the
no,
bag of mail.
I will say this.
Everybody poops, and no two poops are the same. So if somebody's poops look like that, okay,
Right.
that's fine.
But Zap is more of a sci-fi guy. So he probably more equates it like, he's into those type movies and all that. So he was thinking more probably on that level, like trying to think of what kind of creature or whatever it was.
I thought it was like the same Pizza the Hut type outfit.
Right. Well,
and
that's what
then
I'm saying. Maybe
they just turned it into like poopy looking.
because is this something you've over all the years, even when you first saw it, took it that way?
Yeah, and I still don't think that he
Right.
from the gate through today. I
Right.
don't think he was a pile of poop.
Right.
I don't remember seeing arms though. Were there arms?
Yes,
Yeah. Little.
There was
arms.
little
Yeah.
little T-Rex arms, and he had
Huh.
legs and feet
legs
too.
and feet.
Right.
Mm.
We should have a poll on that. See what people think.
Was it a mutant or was it a pile of shit?
Yeah. Reach out to the old dirty basement. Let us know.
Yeah, we
Well,
can
only Lisa and John Hughes only know.
Yeah.
And John Hughes, like, rest his soul.
is dead as fried
Yeah.
chicken.
Right.
And Lisa's still hot.
Still hot. Oh my god.
She
How
just
old is she?
don't know.
50.
She's in her 60s. I think 62 now.
62.
But in that video I showed you guys, she was like 58.
Mm.
God
And-
bless her dear
and,
soul.
Oh my god, she still looks so good.
So fine.
Did she ever get
Mhm.
remarried?
I don't know. She's private now, kind of.
Oh, she's in it, does her own thing.
Yeah.
She's a dancer for money.
Mm-hmm.
She'll do what you want her to do.
Actually, Tina Turner was in a Mad Max.
She did Mad Max Beyond,
Beyond the
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, yeah.
Thunderdome.
Such a great track. So Gary and Wyatt take the chicks home. They're now everybody's happy in their world. They come to find Chet, who is, some would allege, a pile of shit. Others would allege a mutant blob. But
Would
either
you
way,
agree to he looked like a pile of shit?
I would say he
Looked
like-
bad.
He
I'm saying
resembled.
he resembled a bad looking shitty pile
Yes.
with arms and legs and making fart sounds.
Their cars disappear as they pull up. Like you,
Mm.
The magic's wearing off.
magic's wearing off. The parents, while still in the whatever in the closet, they're going to wake up soon.
Yeah, the grandparents.
All the while now, again, so they find Chet. Chet apologizes to Wyatt. He's like, "Look, I'll never do this again. I've been a shitty brother. I've just been a terrible person. I'm sorry." All right. So eventually that'll wear off too. House is now magically fixed up with the awesome camera trick of just reversing.
Reversing everything that happened.
Yeah.
Although, they couldn't have reversed the same scene that we had seen the night before where the couch flies out and the piano flies out, because that was filmed at night. So in this, the next day, they had to have done it twice,
Mm-hmm.
because we see the couch in the daylight now reversing itself back into the chimney and the piano reversing itself back into the chimney again in the daylight.
Right.
Would have had to have been 2 shots.
You would think.
I mean, there's no way they're mimicking daylight and nighttime and
I,
fixing that.
I'm not sure.
In 85?
Probably not.
Right.
Day and night? No.
Night and day.
Day and night, night and day.
I think about you night and day. You know that song? When I think about you.
Night and day.
Yeah, that's
All I think about you.
that's I'll Be Sure.
I'll be sure, yeah.
Night and Day is the name of the track, and that is a great track.
That's a good one.
I can't tell you.
Yep.
Wow,
I don't know what he says, but
Yeah.
it sounds something like that.
that sounded.
I'm trying to find out what they put Chet as, or what they describe him
Oh,
as.
you're not gonna. You're not gonna find that. The only way we're gonna solve that is having enough of our listeners come in and tell us what it is.
What it is, right?
Is it a pile of shit or is it a mutant?
It says
What says something speaking to you?
YouTube.
Matt.com.
It says Chet turns into a talking mutant blob.
Oh, there it is.
Sci-fi station, which you said sci-fi.
Right.
That's according to one source.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to go back to the source on that. So,
Well, yeah, shit don't have teeth and eyes.
Right. I just
mean,
assumed he was
Little armies.
depending on what you eat.
There's a guy at work that always makes a joke when he sees somebody with a hat and he, doesn't
said
like
some
them.
Bundy, some
What's
Bundy
that?
poop.
Some Bundy poop.
No, I said shit don't have teeth and eyes. Sap says depending what you eat. That's a little Bundy poop.
Oh yeah, or Dahmer poop.
Yeah, Dahmer. Yeah, Dahmer.
The
Yeah.
guy at work, he always has funny lines, and somebody walks in he doesn't like, or it's wearing a hat. He's like, look, somebody took a shit and put a hat on it. That's like always like a
it's not-
sting.
wow,
Yeah.
not very nice.
Dang.
I don't know who you work with.
From the
Yeah.
gate,
That guy sounds like Chet.
he just goes right to the jugular.
Yeah. He's joking though.
Don't we all?
So yeah, and now Gary and Wyatt now have to have their come to Jesus moment with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
So now everything is going their way. Their life is perfect. Over the course of a matter of 2 days, everything is all of a sudden right in their world.
They got to break up with a supermodel.
They
now.
got to tell the supermodel, like, look, man, we met these 2 chicks. Mission accomplished.
Mhm.
No, really?
We're being very forthcoming with you.
I don't think that happens. And see, I would have let it go with them having the girlfriends and get to keep Lisa. She just hangs out in the house. She does whatever you want.
I think, and we're almost there.
You're almost there, I guess.
We're almost there, and I think she actually stuck around.
Oh, she did. Okay, we'll get into that.
So they say ultimately they basically say their goodbyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look, we're good. Lisa, go off and we're again being very forthcoming with you, letting you know that we're now digging these two chicks, and that's what we're doing.
You're basically God, but we're going to let you go now.
Yeah, odd as hell. So she ends up disappearing or dematerializing, whatever you'd like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Little Harry Potter thing just flies out of there, disapparates. Just as everything's getting set right and doing the way it's supposed to be, just as Wyatt's parents walk in the house.
Everything's perfect. Yep.
They're back from their vacation.
Yeah, just
The picture slides,
sliding, yep.
raise the doors opening.
Yeah, just as everything's opening. Like the timing couldn't have been more perfect.
But Lisa knew that. Lisa
course.
took care of it. Lisa
Christ.
Lisa Christ was little Lisa. I think of her as little baby Lisa Christ.
Right.
Swaddled.
Like 8 pound, 10 ounce.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she just, you knew she was going to make it happen.
Of course
she wasn't going to leave these kids hanging.
Of course not. And the parents come home, and it was interesting to find the mom mentioned to Wyatt, I just had this feeling, I don't know what it was, but I was worried you two were going to have a party or, something going on over here. Of course, they laugh it off. What, us have a party? Come on, that's not what we do. We didn't
We're
do
big
much of
nerdy
anything.
kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was essentially it. And everything ends up just great. Now we are Monday morning, the third day, gym class.
Oh, that's right.
And maybe it's not Monday morning. It could be weeks later because
I think they're because it happens so quickly. I think they are kind of referencing this. Lisa's out there and
she's found a job.
Right.
So
she was up in heaven. She didn't have nothing else to do.
We see a bunch of these dudes
at gym class.
All again gnarly, sloppy, sweaty, armpit hairy, whatever. And they have to fall in line. They hear the whistle blow. They have to fall in line for the gym teacher. Lo and behold, we now get from a feet up to the top camera pan of Lisa, who is now their gym coach.
And looking good.
Yeah, looking incredible. Absolutely incredible. And this is truly now this is the end of the movie. But
she tells the boys to drop
and give me 20.
Yep, and they all
But did she take them bowling
they all
in a
pass
little
out.
blue van for gym class?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think she could have done that.
Oh no, that's right.
Yeah.
They're not going to Royal Crown
Bowling for gym class.
I loved gym class.
That's what
bowling.
a good gym teacher would do.
Yeah. Yep.
Fun fact, when we went to that, for gym class,
Right.
I would smoke at
When you walk out.
Right.
when I was in the bowling alley.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you could smoke there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would sit there smoking. This was like 16, 17 years old.
Wait, did you go out?
Zapp's over there in the
Did
corner.
you stay in the inside, like go to the bathroom? or-
No, I sat there and I smoked because there was ashtrays all over the place.
Well, yeah, it was. It was bowling. There's still no. You can't.
I don't know.
No, you
I think
can't.
there's
There's some bowling that
If
you
the
can.
bars if the bars open late night,
you two,
rock and bowl
you
for
two
all you
need to
kids
get
out there.
You two need to get out of the city, or at least out of the suburbs. Go out into the sticks. Go 10 miles in any direction and find yourself a bowling alley. I promise you, they are smoking in that fucking bowling alley.
There's beer and
bowling leagues and all that. He's over there doing that jazzy talk, talking to the
I can't get to the bus yet. I still got to finish smoke.
Drink it. So that was the end of the movie. And so, again, it ends with the movie. Yes, exactly. As Dave had mentioned, she said, drop and give me 20. They all slap their foreheads and they all fall down synchronously. And that's the end. Now, note, there's no Gary and Wyatt in that gym group.
Right.
They've since moved on or whatever. So I would certainly say that it's months later or whatever later.
It could be. They might have graduated already. She just comes back.
But the part with her still being there, something in me tells me that she's still there. Why that high school? I still think she's around looking out for those two, for Gary and Wyatt.
Or maybe she just enjoys the company of young men.
Maybe. I don't know. I still think that, look, if she's created, she could have gone anywhere she wanted to go, but there's still that thing. Again, remember, we're if we keep in if we keep in, the appropriateness and the laws of the movie, she was created to be theirs.
Yes, she is theirs.
So if they say, look, we're seeing these other girls, that's fine. That does not alleviate her from still being theirs.
Theirs, right.
So I just in my mind, I'm thinking that especially because she's at that high school now teaching gym or whatever, I still think that she's there just looking out for those two.
Well, I mean, she's all knowing, all powerful. Like, I'm sure.
And she probably doesn't, she's like creative, so probably doesn't age.
No,
She's
of course not. No.
Yeah. Well, as you can see in that video I showed you, she doesn't age.
No,
But what
she does not.
what Zap was saying, how, I mean, maybe this was 30 years later. Maybe this was 60. Maybe Wyatt and Gary have passed.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Right.
But they weren't wearing any futuristic gym outfits.
No. But do gym outfits change? Is there a futuristic gym outfit?
I mean, even Back to the Future, when they flash forwarded or attempted to try to say what 2015 would look like, you got to believe in some way, shape, or form that if they were alluding to we are now so far into the future, they would have changed clothes.
They'd have pajamas on and Crocs.
Yes,
yeah,
they'd have
maybe.
pajamas and Crocs.
So it wasn't the future.
I believe it was.
Or maybe, yeah, maybe.
And so
in my little weird science in my head.
that's fine. And in your head, Chet became a pile of shit. And that's fine.
It
Right.
did. Yeah.
This
I
is
don't know.
America. This is a free country. And if a guy wants to believe that a guy turned into a pile of shit, then God damn it, he's a pile of shit.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
And then Lisa just, I don't know what she's doing up there in heaven this whole time, but she comes back. That's what I think happened.
I don't know if she went up to heaven, man. I
Well-
think she's just hanging out at dive bars.
Now,
Well, it's time for the sound effect.
what?
Your little thing.
My little thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't think it's
Oh,
that.
it's do 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 fun facts.
Fun
Yes.
facts.
Fun fact.
Fun facts. So John Hughes wrote the script. Took him only 2 days to write the script.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
As the movie spans 2 days.
Right. Yeah, true.
The Elin, what are you calling?
Elon. what did you say, Elon? Yeah,
Wyatt in the movie. Yeah, he was actually a trained ballet dancer.
Mm.
And this was his only brief acting stint. He was in this, and then he quit to be a professor, I believe.
Right. He was done acting at 22, he said,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
in a recent interview. Yeah.
And what he went into ballet.
He was a ballet dancer when they found him.
I'm your ballet dancer.
Now he's a medieval English literature at Cal State, Long Beach.
Good for him.
Nice.
So he's a smart dude.
Yep. Yep.
That's got to be cool to be in that class. And I bet every kid in there gets distracted like, hey, professor.
Wyatt.
Hey, Wyatt. Like that. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have it up there. Like he probably has this picture of him as Wyatt from the movie, like in class. It's probably like the thing he gets out of the way right away. And everybody wants to take his class because he knows Anthony Michael Hall.
That makes sense. From what I had found, Demi Moore and Robin Wright
Robin Wright Penn.
could
who's
have
not
been
Penn
Lisa.
anymore.
Oh, wow.
They could have been. They auditioned for the part and they were completely shut down.
Okay. That would have been cool to see. So, yeah, there was actually a 3-week. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I'm glad it wasn't either of them.
No.
Robin Wright just annoys me.
Right.
And Demi Moore, she had enough of her.
Yeah.
And I think at that time, Demi Moore wouldn't have looked old enough.
No, not at all.
She wouldn't have had that
She still has that baby face.
grown up sex
Because it was
appeal.
One Crazy Summer.
Correct.
Was I know what you're saying. That was like around this time or maybe a little after it.
I don't know. You've also at this time you would have had St. Elmo's Fire.
Right.
So
So they actually filmed like 3 weeks of this movie with a different actress that played a Kelly LeBrock part.
Yeah, the blonde.
I don't know who it was. Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know her name, but she was a blonde
Like Kelly Ember.
supermodel.
I had a name, but she was in the south of France with Sting, and she turned it down. I guess they had started filming 3 weeks. This girl wasn't working out. Whoever it was, they contacted her. She was in the south of France with Sting at the time.
Yeah, that's the
like,
one.
hey.
It wasn't Kelly LeBrock. What I was talking to you about earlier.
Right.
touching each other's privates.
And Kelly LeBrock was like, okay, I'll do it. So when she showed up on set, a lot of the outfits were for this other actress,
Mm.
and they weren't fitting as well, and they had to cut and do different things. I guess I don't know if. I mean, I don't know how the size difference between the other girl and I mean Kelly LeBrock's not that maybe she's just taller or whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
She obviously wasn't heavy or anything like that.
She
but,
looked tall.
yeah, but yeah, she referenced that in it was called Awesome Con that those three were at, and it was funny because these people are they're at this like Comic-Con. It's called Awesome Con type thing, and these people are coming up asking questions, and it's funny to see Anthony Michael Hall and like them. They're trying to like, so who are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm Jem, or what are you? The one guy had something on his head. He's like, oh, did you ever see the movie Real Genius? It was, I guess he couldn't see the person in the crowd.
Oh, okay.
But everybody came up was like a different dressed in character or whatever.
Got it.
Because it was like a con type thing.
Dressed in con.
Right.
Did you know there was a... I'm sorry, go.
No.
Go. Shoot.
No, you said did you know? Go
No.
ahead. I did not know because you didn't say it.
I need you to give me a fun fact.
Fun fact, 3 months after the filming of this movie, Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr. became reunited again. Anthony Michael Hall became, at 17, the youngest member of Saturday Night Live. They both were cast as
There it is.
full-time members.
Did either of you know... Wait a second. They were cast as full-time members?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Not just hosts?
there was like a season. That
Yeah, they had a
were on
season.
there.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit. I
Yep.
missed that whole thing.
That wasn't one of the better seasons, I take it.
Something else that I must have slept on. There was actually a Weird Science TV show.
Oh,
It
yes.
ran from 1994 to 1998 on USA. There were 88 episodes of this show.
Really?
I missed that whole thing.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell, but there was a couple that they made.
was
Like
two
I remember
bad
there's a
actors.
Ferris Bueller one that we talked about.
Mhm.
And you told me that it did ring a bell. I don't remember that one.
So I'm looking at the numbers though, as it ran from 94 to 98, I was in college, 94 to 98, and working.
Yeah, you
Like
didn't have
all
time
the,
to watch
I didn't
that.
have time to watch shit.
True.
What do you got, Dave?
So let me see here. I'll go back to these. Kelly Emberg was a name that I had as originally cast as Lisa, and I don't know who that is. Maybe that's the girl.
She was a supermodel.
Right. So the name Kelly, the name Lisa for Kelly LeBrock's character was inspired by Apple's first computer. The Apple Lisa, the GUI computer.
Yeah.
I guess it's like an interface, a
Mhm.
GUI interface. Is
Yep.
that that's where they got the name Lisa from.
Which was named after Steve Jobs' first kid.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's even deeper then. That's a
Oh.
deeper fun fact. That's
Steve
cool.
Jobs.
Yep.
What do you got, Zap? You said you had something there.
Here's what I got. So I actually have two more. So the sexy piano girl, the girl playing the piano,
Naked lady.
the naked lady, that her name was Kim Mallon. Her real life name is Kim Mallon.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually a Playboy centerfold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so she didn't mind getting naked.
No, hell no. She got bills to pay, mouths to feed.
There was actually a Playboy, they said. I don't know which part. I did read this just running through facts about the movie that had Kelly LeBrock on the Playboy that was in the actual movie.
I saw that too.
I don't know exactly where it was, but she was on a Playboy.
Like I want to say it was in Wyatt's bedroom.
Maybe.
And that would make the most sense because that's the part in the very beginning where they're feeding all these pictures and shit into the computer to absorb all of this information, the brains, the music, the smart, the good looks, the everything. Yeah, there has got to be a Kelly LeBrock thing. And if not there, you might see it in one of the bathroom scenes.
Maybe in the bathroom. Now, did this is off the fun fact list, but did either of these guys sleep with Lisa, who would do anything for either of them?
I don't think so. Because I think if either of them did, that would have been absolutely mentioned in that movie.
There was no reference, nothing, but I don't understand.
Remembering that this movie only happened over the course of 2 days, the only possible chance they would have had to do that would have been Friday night when they created her and they go out to the bar.
Yeah, Gary was drunk, though, but Wyatt had her doing naked gymnastics.
Yeah.
Gymnastics. But don't you think, now let's just remember, 100% these two are, again, just introverted, nerdy virgins.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you just think that next day, Wyatt would have said something, anything.
Right to his buddy.
Anything.
Like, I got some, yeah.
Dude, my whole life just changed.
Right.
Unless
And his demeanor would have changed.
maybe Lisa mind warped them. Maybe she took advantage of them
I don't know.
and then mind warped it out of their minds.
I don't think Lisa would have had sex with either of them.
No.
Because she's just a nice lady.
Well,
Right.
she's a nice lady, but think about it. Now you're getting into some weird shit where two dudes are sharing one chick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Maine. We call that a dumpster.
Yeah.
Like that's just gonna get nasty. That's just gonna get weird.
Like a real life porn.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, man. That's
So she was there just to give them that
encouragement
in
moral
life.
support.
To like say, if you can build somebody like me, you can get anybody.
I think
you
that was her purpose.
Yeah.
You know. But
She's an angel.
so according to Robert Russler, that scene with the rocket ship or the missile or whatever it was, the rocket is what they're calling it.
Yep.
Cost about $100,000 to film. So that's a lot of the budget they were eating up.
Ooh.
But according to him, during that scene, Anthony Michael Hall farted during the scene, breaking everybody's concentration. They are all laughing and stuff. And the take was blown, so they had to film it in reverse and tweak it in post-production. Because he kind of ruined it with that.
Way to go, Anthony Michael Hall.
He had the bad gas.
Right.
The
It happens.
bad gas.
No, they're speaking of Anthony Michael Hall, the Vacation movie. We are. Oh,
No. That was my last one.
okay, but we all are familiar with that. He is the reason that they have different. What's the guy's
Rusty.
name? Rusty. That's why there's so many different Rusties, because he didn't take that role on again. So now that that's when the tradition was born that the Griswold Kids was played by different actors in every Vacation movie. And that was because of Anthony Michael Hall not re-upping.
So yeah, I mean, so John Hughes did both. He was doing The Vacation and he was doing Weird Science, and John Hughes actually offered it. He's like, "Look, man, you could do Weird Science if you want. I'm fully affording you this opportunity to back out of The Vacation." And he said, "Yeah,
Hell yeah,
shit, yeah, I'm going to do that."
Yeah, for the second one, yeah, I got what you're saying. In this movie, Anthony Michael makes a reference to a girlfriend in Canada.
Yep.
And he also did that in The Breakfast Club as
yes,
well.
from Canada.
Yeah, so that was like his thing.
That's true. That is true.
And then like Matt referenced about the puppet suit that Chet was in, whether it was a pile of shit or alien figure or whatever it was.
Mutant
figure. Yeah, he was claustrophobic, like Matt was saying. So Kevin Thompson and Joe Geib were crammed inside, and they kind of operated in unison. It was like probably like, I'm sure it wasn't robotic, but they had to like almost like a puppet.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Matt?
When you guys were talking about Bill Paxton's haircut, how horrible, like that whole military style haircut he had.
Damn, that was some bad hair.
Yeah, his first day on the set, he went into makeup and he told the makeup person, he like, "I want a haircut that's really intense." And I guess the makeup person was like, "A military style, I guess, that would be intense." John Hughes didn't know he got that haircut, and he was like pissed off. He's like, "What kind of freaking cut is that?" But then as he was filming the movie and saw Chet's character and the way that his character came out, he said it matched. It did well.
So I only have two other ones here. The exterior shots of the high school used in the beginning of 16 Candles are the same one they used in this. It was like the same exact cut scene. And Kelly LeBrock's jacket, the one jacket she wore in the mall scene.
Yep, jeans jacket.
Yep.
Denim.
That was sold, the Dina collection. It was a pawn shop in Beverly Hills for $25,000.
God damn.
That. Yeah. So these movie props. Yeah, $25,000.
Just take that home and sleep with it. Wrap it around your pillow. Smell it all night.
Oh, I do. There is one other one. The computer was a Memotech. Never heard of that. You ever hear of that?
Never
brand?
heard of it.
MTX 512 with an FDX add-on. And that's what kind of brand computer it was. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
The only other thing I got is Robert Downey Jr. A lot of people know we talk about him. He's very big in the 80s movies. Had a little problem with drugs.
Yeah.
At this time, I don't think it was anything different. They said they would call him the serial pooper. He like had, I don't know if like the drugs or whatever he took, like did something where
you have to go all the time.
yeah. So he would just like wherever he was around.
So if you're cutting coke, you're going to sometimes add like a laxative to it or whatever that's going to still give one a stimulant when they inhale it. Laxative is often used. So a pill laxative that's chopped up and mixed with it. So that might explain it.
But they were saying wherever he was on set, sometimes he just had to go like really bad to the bathroom. So he would go he'd go into a trailer. Just going to the back. But they said the people would go, like, he would just destroy it, like, just shit everywhere.
It was horrible.
Awesome. Yeah, like, because, those little trailers back then, it was, like, not, like, really flush.
Maybe they used that to make the Chet costume. Like, put it all together.
Put all shit together.
Did you guys notice his teeth?
Which one?
Chet's?
Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
Or?
I was looking at Robert Downey Jr.'s.
Oh, Chet's teeth in the movie.
I'm sorry, not Chet's. What did I say?
Robert Downey Jr.
Sorry, Robert Downey Jr.'s teeth in this movie. Like, they seemed gapped.
Yes, you're right. I did notice that.
There seemed to be more of a gap. Like, to be clear, as years had gone on, he had work done. Just like Tom Cruise did.
Yeah, what'd you call him in the one Tom Rowboat or something like that? Before he was Tom Cruise. One of you guys had a cool joke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn it. I can't remember.
Right.
But it was, it might have Tom, Rowboat, whatever.
Something like that.
Well, they get work done as they get older. Like you said too, real quick, John Hughes didn't know anything about that Weird Science show either. It was news to him.
Huh.
He had no idea.
Wait.
I just read that.
John Hughes, the guy whose name is slathered all over this movie, didn't know that they made a television show?
No.
Damn, I'd be pissed.
Hold on, let me look through the.
That shit ran 4 seasons.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that is. You would think if you were involved in it, you would be aware of it.
I did. I
escort
remember
service for all the right reasons.
John Hughes didn't know the Weird Science TV series existed until he saw a commercial for it.
Damn.
It said Uncle Buck also had a sitcom.
Had no idea about that either.
That was
Me
in
neither.
1990. They said both were dead within a year of Uncle Buck and Ferris Bueller. Oh, Weird Science was actually from a magazine or comic book when John Hughes was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
there
were
you
called
go.
Weird
That's where he got
Science.
the idea.
Mhm.
He got it from when he was a kid. That's how the vacation thing.
Well, that's
Yeah,
most
That's,
actors.
I guess
they
where you
did-
get
yeah.
most stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
But
That's all I got.
That's all I
yeah,
got.
You got anything else?
I got
Yeah.
nothing else.
Kelly
other than-
LeBrock.
I got
call
nothing
us.
else other than an eternal love for this movie. Just a
Right.
great one.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah. And in closing, I'd like to say rest in peace to Dave Trugoy, the Dove. He passed away today.
Oh.
So we like the old school rap. De La Soul was
De
kind of
La
like an
Soul.
alternative rap group.
Hmm.
And he was one of the three. And he actually went on to do some stuff with the Gorillas, which is like the Gorillas are actually a combination of the guys from Blur.
And a couple
which
guys
is like
from
a
De La
UK
Soul.
band, like a rock band. Yeah, that song too. Woohoo! No. You ever
Yeah.
hear that? Yeah. So I just found that actually just happened last night. So.
Wow.
Do you know there's a big thing between Blur and who was the other guys that were really popular then?
Oh yeah,
Oh, my God.
Coldplay, not Coldplay.
No, not
Before that.
Coldplay. The guys that thought they said they were going to be.
Oasis,
Oh yes,
the
Oasis.
British rock. Like who's the yeah?
I saw like something about that. I didn't finish it. It was towards the middle or the end, but they were saying there was this huge thing with Blur and Oasis, like
Button
in
heads.
England. Yeah, guess
I
it was,
didn't
like,
know that.
Yeah,
really big on the radio, and the one was saying they were ripping it, but like they had fans that would fight each other. It was kind of like the football they had there. There was like two different sides. They were always getting fights.
Huh.
But yes, De La Soul.
Oh, yeah. I guess,
great.
I guess
great-
now it's
great
just
band.
he, himself, and him.
he himself and him, right? Yeah, I'd have to change the name.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But yeah, we'll be back next week with Coming to America. One of I know this is one of us on the poll. A lot of people like it. I know Matt and Zap especially love this movie. That's coming out next week. So look for that on the Vintage Cinema Review. And then after that, we'll have some other cool ones coming up. And don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram at Old Dirty Basement, and on TikTok at Old Dirty Basement Podcast. And I guess we'll catch you where?
On the flip side,
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
peace.